Good morning everyone, we're from SSF 1013, I'm Dr. Tracy and my name is Muhammad ZAHRUL bin Johari and my matrix number 1137 and 27.
My name is Muhammad ALHAFIZ with the ID matrix 111033.
Hello, my name is Julia Jasmine BINTI JOHAN. My number card matrix is 113138.
My name is FEDERUS JENDAN with matrix ID 110474.
My name is ENTINGANG GERAMONG with the ID matrix is 108809.
And my name is NADAWI bin Muhammad FARIS IZZUDIN with the matrix ID 110217.
Group 2, and today I would like to present our topic about examining the impact of corruption among Malaysian government's officials from the conflict theory perspective. So for the introduction, corruption remains a major issue in Malaysia, especially among government's officials. It weakens public trust, disrupt national development and increase inequality. According to Yusuf Al 2023, corruption has long existed within the political system, allowing certain individuals to use their power for personal benefit at the expense of the nation. Many past studies have linked corruption to weak governance, lack of transparency and poor enforcement. However, further studies explore corruption as a result of unequal power relations and competition over resources. Therefore, there's a need to examine corruption from a sociological perspective. For conflict theory perspective, in this study, we use conflict theory to explain corruption among Malaysian government's officials. This theory focuses on how those in power use their position to protect their interests and maintain inequality. So, by using conflict theory, we can better understand why corruption continues and how it affects society, especially in terms of power imbalance and resource control. So, I would like to pass to my next member.
I would like to present the theory overview. First of all is the class conflict. Class conflict is the conflict between the ruling class and ordinary citizen. This happened because of the government increased the tax while the citizen remain the same. The people feel burdened and begin to question the leader decision. The class conflict also happened because of the elite aim to keep power while the people demand fairness. For example, the political elite maintain their power by giving contract to their close associate, meanwhile the citizen demand transparency and fairness, leading to protest or public dissatisfaction. The second one is the exploitation. The exploitation is done when the ruling class use its position for personal benefit. As example, they do the bribery, crony contract, or misuse the authority. The third one is the ideology. The ideology is the idea or the narrative that justify inequality. For example, they say this is normal, everyone does it, and it makes the process faster. This helps them to maintain the power of the elite. They sometimes help their family or the crony to approve the application.
I to present about the statistic corruption in cases 2025. This is the error statistic graph for corruption cases in September 2025, which we obtained from the MACC, Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission, website in September 2025. The graph shows 7 sectors involved in a corruption. The sector with the highest number of corruption cases in support staff, with a total of 37 cases. Meanwhile, the sector with the lowest number of recorded corruption cases in public official, with 0 cases. In summary, corruption occurs most frequently among operational of support staff who are directly involved in daily tasks. For high-ranking position, the number of cases recorded is lower, although this may be due to the difficulty in detecting corruption among individuals who hold high positions.
We'll talk about theory application into corruption. So we are using the conflict theory. So we have to know what is conflict theory really means. So according to Karl Marx, since the beginning of life, society has always been divided into class who compete over wealth, resource and control. The story of all hitherto existing society is the story of class struggles. Basically, it means a fight over wealth, resource, and control over two classes. It exists naturally without any forces. So, in conflict theory, there is a term named power. It shows how government use their power to control and get special treatment. So, for example, some hospitals, they are giving the priority and special treatment to the officials, while the poor people get the poor treatment. Second, there is a common terms that may be happening to us. It is the inequality. So in some cases, today's society, there is officials who use their power to give their relative or connection the easy access to gain something, while the one that have greater qualification didn't get it. They have to wait and line up for the same thing. In today's society, it's commonly known as cabal. So the third, we have exploitation that have been used by government or officials. For example, some policies, there is a news of some police who force bribe some ordinary people if they want to let go of the cases. So there is a quote that saying the wealthy have both greater motivation and more opportunity to engage in corruption, whereas the poor are more vulnerable to extortion and less able to monitor.
I would like to present strength and limitation. For the strength, Marx conflict theory help us explain corruption by showing how power imbalance allows the powerful to exploit others. It also shows how certain ideologies make corruption seem normal and acceptable. So the theory clearly explains corruption as a structural issue. For the limitation, our data is not evenly distributed. Some sectors have very high numbers, while others have at least none. So the comparison is unbalanced. We also have very small samples in certain categories, which make the finding less accurate. The graph only shows data for 1 month, so it may not represent the overall trends. Lastly, the graph does not show the factor behind the numbers, so our analysis remains limited.
I will cover in conclusion part. 1. Social learning theory is corruption is not merely a personal flaw but socially learning behavior reinforced by culture and authority. Second, corruption happens because power is unequal and the powerful benefit the most, as explained in the conflict theory. Corruption continues not just because some people act unethically, but because unfair power structure make it easy for the powerful to take advantage. And society often accept or even reward this behavior. From both conflict theory and social learning theory, corruption is a system-wide problem kept alive by those who benefit for unequal power and strengthened by cultural norms and leaders who show and justify it. Therefore, we urgently need real change in how power is shared and in the social condition to teach and allow corruption to happen.
Thank you.